Okay, so welcome Reuben to the podcast interview for the Ways of Knowing assignment here we got. This is Reuben's establishment. Nice little shop off the side of his house. As you can see, it's pretty man cavey in here. You know, the vibes are good. We just want to say thank you so much for having us this week. Obviously, the circumstances aren't as great as we'd like them to be, but at the end of the day, we're all here together. And
for sure.
as we were talking about
Here to
earlier,
support each other and
yeah,
everything.
absolutely. As we were talking about earlier, it's a lot more help knowing that the relationships that we've built over the past are still stable into that.
Absolutely.
So one question that I'd have to ask to you is, do you agree or disagree that people are for building all sorts of relationships through life in order for them to build long-standing happiness and stability?
100%, without a doubt, because without people around you that support you, uplift you, bring you to be the best version of you, you really can't get to the places you want to be in life. And I'd say that's super important. And like, whether it's in sports, having teammates that are building you up to be a better person, pushing you competition wise, whether it's at work, having coworkers that are there on the shitty jobs to help you out and make your day better, or even just family to always fall back on and have your back always. Like, every relationship you build is extremely important to who you become and to your future, really. Right.
That's a great answer. Another question for you is, how do you feel the relationship that you have with your family has shaped you to be the person that you are today?
It's huge, like crazy impact. When it comes to like, I mean, I work with my sister, so working with her and being around her all the time, like that's been great for me. Like being able to see her grow and like see her excel in her career as well, not just myself, but like helping her. And then my little brother, it's been huge. Watching him grow up, playing sports, always like getting me to be young again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I can get outside and I can go play soccer in the summers and just in the yard and like throwing a baseball around and all that stuff. And like my whole family played baseball growing up, so like that was huge, like bonding for us. Always like going outside, going to the diamond, whether it be like with the whole family or just my siblings, like we'd always be doing stuff together.
For sure.
And then my parents.
My
parents have been crazy impacts. Like my mom, always super supportive. She's been there. She's had my side through like everything. My father, like, I wouldn't be anywhere without him in terms of like, he's taught me how to work on trucks. He got me running machines when I was a little kid. He got me like doing woodworking, doing all sorts of stuff that like I find extremely valuable to learn in life.
Absolutely.
Like just the basic skills.
Like, so you feel like especially your dad has taught you things that you wouldn't have exactly known and got to get to on your own. Because he's kind of supported that drive in your life and
100%.
that wanting to learn and evolve yourself as a person. And obviously, like we all know that your dad's a really cool guy, but you being his son, there's obviously that strive to be him in a way, you know what I mean, in his best parts. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big one. I would think the next question I would ask would be, how do you think that your friendships, but just between like non-family members and whatnot, how can you like count on them, and how do you see them supporting you in times of hardship? I know that right now we're not really here on the best of circumstances. One of our friends has recently just passed away, and it's a tough pill to swallow.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we're all here together as friends. It's brought us from all provinces of the country to be here together, and I don't know if we would actually be here right now doing this if it weren't for that. So obviously the circumstances aren't as great, but can you just speak a little bit more about how you feel the support from your friends and how that kind of impacts your life?
Just from the fact that you guys are here, even like you're here, it shows how much we cared about Owen, how much we loved him, and like now we're together, we're here to support each other, which is amazing because it's tough without the boys.
Like doing this alone would not be very easy.
It would not be. not be the same. And like, even from the first day I met you guys, like, I was having a party at my house that first weekend. I invited you guys down, and ever since then, it's been like we were best friends. Like, 100%. It's never changed.
Absolutely.
Like, literally from day one. So, even though those relationships have taken us in different paths, now that you guys aren't all back at Mohawk right now, it's one person's out Victoria Island, one person is Winnipeg, one person was out in Kamloops, you're out in Jasper, like, but we're still all in contact. We're still all boys, and you're still my favorite people at the end of the day. So like, I think distance makes relationships even grow fonder, and you realize how impactful those people are in your lives in the moments you have with them, and you don't take those moments for granted. You appreciate every moment you have hanging out together, and you really enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. You have plans this summer to actually move out to BC. Where one of our friends, Luke, when we were all in Hamilton, Ontario, he actually he moved from Winnipeg around the same time I did, and we came out together. So when you're talking about that party, like, he was there. You know, we all got to meet each other at the beginning. Now you actually have plans to move there. It helps to rekindle with him and make that a little bit stronger. Can you kind of speak towards how you would, how that relationship with Luke, and obviously wanting that change of scenery, is impacting your decision?
Well, I went up there twice this year, so that's huge.
Literally across the country.
Yeah. First off, the area, absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful place. But then second off, just having someone who's that close to me, and I could call him at any point in time, whether it's a high in my life or a low in my life, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable doing it. Because whether things go great out there or things go poorly, I always have him to support me out there.
Yeah, those relationships
so
that you
that's
have
a
out
huge,
there.
huge plus. On top of that, like, it'll just be really cool to be in the same area as him again, be able to do things with him. Like, that's extremely impactful as well. But yeah, it's definitely like the reason I'm not scared to go out there.
Yeah, totally.
Because I know no matter what happens, I have someone who cares about me just as much as my parents do, my family does. So even though I'm leaving them, they're only a plane ride away, but even though I'm leaving them,
exactly,
I still have people.
Yeah. Which kind of brings me into my next question. I've done it, Dan has done it, just leaving the nest and moving somewhere else to build new relationships. Do you feel that, like, leaving the nest is a good thing? Do you think it'll be like a temporary move? Do you think it'll be a move that you're ready to?
I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
So,
like, I love my house. I love my family. I've loved growing up here.
Right.
But I'm ready to be my own person more.
Right.
And to, as stupid as it sounds, to have to make my own dinner. To have to go out and get my own groceries, to go to the store, like, just to make sure the house is like stocked, and just the freedom even to come and go when I want.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm extremely excited, even though I'm gonna miss out on a lot of things that are amazing about living here. Like, my mom still does my laundry.
Yep.
That's a win, right? I gotta do all that myself now.
Absolutely.
So there's gonna be a lot of change, but I feel like change isn't a scary thing. Change is exciting. And change is something that for me personally, I have to have in my life, because I can't get complacent.
Yeah, totally.
And I think a cool thing about you moving out west specifically is you were talking about how your dad taught you all these things.
Yeah.
A lot of it was working with your hands.
Absolutely.
And now you're about to move across the country and you're working with your hands.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why you're able to do this adventure.
Absolutely.
Is because he's taught you all this stuff, and you've taken that, and now you're about to live a sick lifestyle.
I've built myself a career with it. And now I can take that career and take it to a new place.
Exactly.
And develop it even more.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's really big. So yeah, as we were saying before, like distance almost makes relationships grow a little bit fonder.
Yep.
Obviously, when you move out here, you're going to be missing your friends and family that you have in Hamilton, Ontario.
Absolutely.
But it's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be keeping up with everybody,
Oh,
whether it be through FaceTime or
100%.
text or whatnot.
Yep.
To go and make new relationships.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not really moving out there to just be at home and go to work by yourself every day
Yep.
and move along. You're a very outgoing and
Yep.
personable guy, so obviously that won't be very
Yeah.
hard. But just knowing that what's on the other side of the door is like relationships for people that you haven't even imagined in your life yet
it's gonna be sweet.
is
Like-
a huge one. Yeah.
I love golfing, so
Mhm.
for me, the golf course is a great place to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've went and played. I played this summer. I met some guy who played for the Vancouver Canucks. He was a prospect. I went and played golf with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I've met a couple other people who were like business owners that I've learned a lot from,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm excited to do a lot of the same things I do in
Mhm.
new location.
Right. Yeah.
And-
Totally.
And really just expand the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really big. So I should say my last question to you would be, is just overall, if you could kind of sum it up in a couple of words, why do you think that relationships are the most important piece of somebody's life?
I feel like if you don't have a good relationship with, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, it could be anything, your day-to-day life is not going to be as enjoyable
Mm-hmm.
because it makes it very hard to get by.
Mm-hmm.
And but the most important thing, I guess, would just be, I don't know, like you'll never get anywhere without the help and support of other people.
Right.
No matter how much you think you can do everything yourself,
Mm-hmm.
like life doesn't go onwards / you can't build anything, you can't get anywhere without others helping you to get there.
Right.
Mhm.
So if you're a good person to others, and other people will be a good people to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get great friends like you guys.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think it's just huge in general in life to always be a good person, because you never know which relationship is gonna mean something to you long term.
Mm-hmm.
And even just like, if you were to take our Mohawk days, for example, just one where we were all in the same place at the same time, if we didn't make those relationships, this Mohawk period of time for all of us would not be the same.
No.
We wouldn't look back on it and miss it and
Yeah.
want to be back in Hamilton
Yeah.
if we didn't have those relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's not that you necessarily miss the school or miss that. or
Not at
whatever.
all.
You miss hanging out with the boys.
miss-
and
yeah.
you miss doing things with the people you thoroughly enjoy
Exactly.
doing it with.
Yep, absolutely. Because when I missed home when I was out here, it's not that I was missing the location; it was that I was missing those relationships and those interactions between friends and family.
And even
that I didn't have here,
even
right?
like things like Thanksgiving and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like I could only imagine doing all those like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and whatever without your family.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be insanely hard.
And
Oh,
I-
yeah.
I'm super thankful that we were able to have you and Luke come to Thanksgiving at our house
yes, what I was
and
going to
just
say.
include you guys as part of our family.
Mhm.
And I've been blessed that my parents have been extremely supportive of all my friends. Like
Mhm.
every single friend I've ever brought over, if you're nice to my family loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's taught me a lot about relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing the way my mother interacts with all my friends
Yep.
and cares
absolutely.
about every single one of them.
Yeah, a ton to learn, a ton to reflect on, and
Yeah.
a ton to like shape you as a person through life,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
but I think that's just about all we have time for. Thank you so much, Reuben. I
Thank
appreciate it. Thank you, Dan, again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
This concludes the third episode of our Ways of Knowing interview podcast.